Okay, so here's another attempt to use codecs to bring back things from the past. I'm starting this hoping that this is going to work, recording as much as possible, trying to bring back the Netscape 6 welcome page written in dynamic HTML. I wrote this web page around 2000 in my internship when working for Netscape. So I spent 2 months there and I did like between 20 to 30 different demonstrations in a row and the welcome page. But the welcome page was full of the dynamic HTML excesses. And then I went back to Brazil and then they took out and they replaced that with a normal web page because it was, of course, crashing the browser. Uh, there are many elements in this page, okay, that it's all dynamic. So, for instance, you know the text right here, you see the Netscape text was like you see there are like layers there with the blue and at least two other underlying elements, right? The light blue and the almost transparent. So those elements were like animating like a circular. Okay, it's almost like a wave, when you see the background. Now I'm trying to remember. The number 6 is text, so it's a huge text. The what's new text at the top, it's also text, and I cannot see from here. But as far as I remember, maybe we took this version is already clean. That text had a reflection underneath it. Like the river, when you look at the text in the river, in the horizon, had a reflection there. No, the other things are pretty much normal. Okay. So that's something to bring. And of course, right, some people say bring back the UI. Well, if we start with the content, that's a beginning. I'm just trying to recap here all of that. Now, the only reason that I started recording as well, okay, is because, so I created this directory here with the image, is because I actually found, the page, the source from the web archive. And so I was able to get from that URL, right? And of course, I didn't use GPT for that. But that's something, right? If you say, take this image, try to find for me, try to make that page again, right? That's a use case interesting. Anyway, the page is this. Check it out, right? Completely broken. You see, it's there, right? Now, because, yeah, mostly text, except these triangles and the icon. And if I see the source, right? That's my style. This is default string, create something, key 1, key 2. Ocean. Some animation to the ocean is there. Ocean animation. Making the reflection of the ocean. Positioning for convenient services tab. Post sidebar. So the source is there. Web archive stuff, right? In the other case, in the other demonstration, the typewriter that I brought, I used Web Archive to download. Maybe this case we don't need that, right? Maybe just paste the source. It's not my intent in this video to do the thing. It's just more like feasibility, right? Can we do it? Right. So maybe, what about in this model? Something that I like to do is always to create memos. But I didn't do for the other that day. That was sad because I didn't keep the trail. Although the trail that I try to keep is through memos, not the GPT history generally. Okay, so now let us um, work in this Netscape 6 welcome page demo, trying to bring back the old demo from the 2000s. I'll give you the image so far. Oops, where's the image? The image is here. Copy. Yeah, I'll give you the image so far, and the HTML, and the HTML from Web Archive. We can ignore so far the icons. Actually, you can make an SVG, inline SVG. We can ignore so far the icons. Keep in mind the first version here, right? Version here could be static, as in you can pick a viewport, as in absolute. If you figure that the source is good for absolute. Now, keep a memo for us. Keep a memo readme 010 for us. Okay. Put a chapter 1, and break in 110, 120, 120, and so on sections. And uh, make a reference to the image first in the visual image print from the base. Keep in mind in this section, the content is not the browser, it's only the rectangular area, the content area, no sidebars, no status bar. It's actually the area referenced by the scroll bars. Now, if you find this difficult, I can later refine with you with a print from the crop area. Okay. 1.2 pip source reference. chapter 2 to initial initial plan. Do the HTML, define the view, defines the HTML view, port, define absolute strategy if that is the case, follow from the source the best possible. If some complex areas from the source, like the ocean thing, you are unsure, we can defer to later. Use the visuals to course correct to after checks so far. Assume the Netscape logo is a square so far. It's a box, a square so far. I will replace later. Okay. All right. So that's likely the beginning through the memo, through memos. That's how generally I develop with a startup and other activities as a consultant or a developer, evangelist or writer, whatever, builder. Through memos, always through memos. And of course, through memos, we generally come up with processes, right? So things related there to some extent are overlapping with the idea of skills, I guess. It comes from the normal, it comes from the routine, it comes from the day, it comes from the memos, right? So that's the beginning right here. Maybe this video should be about that, right? Unless if it gives me the answer right away, but maybe we should celebrate just the gatherings and the prompt here. That's it so far. Yes. Thank you very much.